2018 has seen a host of brands that want you to use their product less. Is this marketing genius or self-sabotage? We're here to find out how that makes sense. My name is Shayan Shakeel. I'm here with Eddie Taylor. You're watching Inside AB. Eddie, tell us this isn't counterintuitive.
Well, it doesn't seem to make sense, does it? But apparently it is. I mean, this is all comes from Apple and Facebook have unleashed a load of tools and gimmicks and plans on their various devices to try and get you to use their products less.
Right.
So back in beginning of the year, I think it was February time, Apple released a suite of products that basically said to you, turned off your notifications, it limited your notifications early in the morning, so you were kind of easing yourself into your digital day, and was basically trying to limit the amount of time you were spending on your phone.
Right.
Facebook have responded by doing something very, very similar, and that's like you're turning off their notifications, it's going to give you warnings if you've been on the app or the platform too long during a day. And it's all seen as kind of responsible consumption. So what they're basically saying, they think they're being good corporate citizens and are actually warning you against over-consuming their product. So you could be cynical and say this is a little bit of kind of a marketing campaign. Or you could sort of say that they're seeing it as we'd rather people use our product for 2 hours a day for the next 10 years.
Right.
Then use it 10 hours a day and then be done with it in 6 months' time. But that's kind of why we're talking about it this week.
Right. Now, so this is probably the only thing Facebook and Apple agree on this year.
Yeah.
But some other brands don't seem to agree with this at all. I mean, Netflix says sleep is the enemy.
Yeah, I wonder whether that's because Netflix is still in its growth cycle, so therefore it's kind of piggybacking on the whole binge-watching culture where we don't go to restaurants and bars anymore, we just sit at home on the couch and watch 857 consecutive episodes of Making a Murderer or what have you. So I just wonder whether that's a reflection of where we are in Netflix. They're still trying to gain market share, whereas Apple and Facebook are fairly kind of certain in how much people use their product. So maybe there's a little bit of confidence that comes with that.
Right. So are there any other companies besides tech companies that we might be aware of?
Yeah, I mean, self-sabotage is probably putting it a little strongly, but there are sort of people that have used marketing gimmicks that sort of ostensibly say, don't use us or don't buy our products. And one of them literally said those words. There was Patagonia, the outdoor outfitting company in the United States. And back in 2011, it basically had adverts on billboards and in newspapers with a picture of a very nice fleece-lined jacket, and just over the top it said, "Don't buy this jacket." And underneath that wasn't a description of how great the jacket was, but it was a description or an explanation of the dangers of overconsumption. And as an outdoor clothing company, a product that you use in the great outdoors, in the environment, in the wilderness, it was essentially saying, we care about the environment. So we don't want you to spend your weekends in shops buying products that you don't use and all of the energy that consumes, in the production of these things. So it was actually a very, very clever and, may I say, very successful marketing campaign. And certainly I don't think it worked. I think a lot of people went out and bought that very jacket. So reverse psychology maybe, but it's an example of a corporation trying to be a good consumer.
That's what I was going to ask you about. I mean, how much of this is actually reverse psychology, call to actions, and copywriting?
I would argue probably quite a lot, but equally I do think that even if the message gets across, it's still productive. I mean, another example of that is also, again, in the outdoor outfitting space, and they seem to have taken a bit of a lead on this, a company called REI, also in America. Now, the day after Thanksgiving in America has become known as Black Friday, and that's the day straight after the big holiday. Every shop in America has just crazy sales, and it's kind of been imported here, and we've now jumped on the bandwagon of Black Friday. But REI thought this was terrible, that they were bringing in all of their staff on their you don't get many holidays in America, and they were expected to bring their staff in to open the door at 6 a.m. so people with nothing better to do could go and shop. Now they just thought, no, this is terrible. So they actually purposely shut their stores for the whole weekend, 151 stores around America, and told all of their staff, no, you take the holiday. And they actually followed that up with a hashtag which said, where is it, opt outside. And instead of going shopping, it wanted people to share their experiences of being outside, enjoying the great outdoors in America instead of being stuck in a mall or in a shop. Again, reverse psychology maybe, but also it's about how they perceived their brand in the modern age of consumption.
All right. Well, excellent. Thank you very much for those insights, Eddie Taylor. The world gets stranger by the day. You're watching Inside AB. Remember to subscribe and comment below and tune in tomorrow for the next edition of this series. Thank you for watching.